stupid people. So
That's true.
That's also true.
I mean, that
stuff.
might be the one thing that saves us
You think?
as a planet. Well, I mean, if it's too stupid to become self-aware and kill us all.
Oh, well, that's true.
Hmm.
I'm just kidding. We're all doomed.
What's that?
I'm just kidding. We're all doomed.
Oh, of course we are. Hello and welcome to episode number 913 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, May 28th. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from Canada, Mr. Greg Seward.
Yellow.
How's it going there, sir?
Just taking my blood pressure medication.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah?
Because I'm ancient.
Yeah, that's good.
It's going fine. It's going fine. Happy Victoria Day to you too. I know you both celebrate. So
yes,
but not on the right. But not on the right day because you keep asking AI about Canada.
Yep.
Yeah, and AI
And it doesn't
keeps giving
know.
us the wrong answers.
Yep.
Typical.
Typical.
We all knew AI is American too.
It's true. And joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
That's me.
How's it going?
Oh, fine. How are you?
I am good.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yes. I went to see a movie last night.
The Garfield
What'd you see?
movie, eh?
I went and saw The
How was
Fall
it?
Guy.
Fall Guy.
The Fall Guy.
Oh, you were the other one who went and saw the Fall Guy.
I was.
That's already
And
available
actually-
digitally.
Already
It's available
streaming.
digitally, yes. Now it is already available on digital. But
Why did you go see it then?
well, we were going to go see it on a Mother's Day weekend. We were
Yeah.
going to go out for dinner and then go to a movie.
Okay.
Were you going to take
And-
your wife, or was it just you and your was the present to your wife that you and your daughter were going to get lost for a few hours? Because
No.
that's legit too.
That's
Yeah.
also legit. Yeah, no, it was going to be the whole family. We were going to go out to eat and then go to a movie. It was all planned out. And then my wife got sick. She had a cold or
Oh, dear.
something, maybe
Yeah.
the flu that weekend. So
Oof.
we didn't go.
Okay.
We postponed that. So we did it yesterday instead.
Oh.
Yeah. We had
I
postponed
guess
it
you
by
could
a few
say your
weeks.
plans
Fell
fell
through.
through.
Fell through. Indeed. Yeah.
So
But
did
I
you
would
guys-
I would
sorry.
highly recommend that movie, The Fall Guy. It's a very good film. It was not.
Is it as good as the old TV show? Because I used to watch the old TV show.
It's based on the old TV show.
well, I
actually.
figured that out.
It having the same name kind of clues you into that.
Well, you
Yeah.
never know. You never
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But except it was more. I think it was more comedic than I was expecting.
Oh.
The trailers really do not do it a good service in so much as it doesn't hint at the comedy part at all, or it's kind of also like a rom-com ish thing as well. And the
Okay.
trailers did not hint at any of that really at all. But
The trailers kind of played it out.
Yeah,
to be
I thought
kind of
they
a-
did too.
we had
Yeah.
a ton of fun seeing it.
Okay.
But,
Speaking of really good movies that are doing criminally poorly at the box office, I went and saw Furiosa last night.
Hey,
Yeah.
I saw
was-
that on Friday.
That was real good.
It was a
liked
good
it?
movie, yeah?
Oh man, I loved it.
I need to see
Mhm.
that one too.
Yeah,
It's a good movie.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
and it's not just trying to emulate Fury Road. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
no,
it's
it's not.
trying
It's
to be
a-
like a nonstop action film like
It's
Fury
a very
Road was.
good movie.
Yeah. And Chris Hemsworth was fantastic. Like it was
ridiculous.
all I could think the whole time I was watching it is like, this is his Joker role. Like he totally disappeared into it. He chewed up the scenery every single time he was on the screen. Like you could tell he was having a blast doing it, and he wasn't being Chris Hemsworth. Like it was every time he's on the screen, I was so happy. He was so great.
Yeah.
Now, the movie going experience is weird now, right?
Well, I mean,
Oh, see,
what was weird about it last night is
weird
that the
now.
theater
CJ's
was
going
pretty
into a
much
bit
empty.
here. Hold on.
I'm going into a bit.
CJ's
No.
working on his tight 7.
No, I mean,
Let me tell you, movies are a different kind of
What's-
creature these days. Let me
What's
tell
the
you.
deal? What's the
Yeah.
deal with modern movies?
you pre-buy your ticket on the app. You go in, and
Yep, that's the first problem.
the local theater here. There's no like line or person. There was just a person sort of loitering by the front who, when people came in the door, They walked up with their little scanner and would scan the thing. There's no like organized come in this way. Yeah. And then like the concession stand, not crowded at all. We're seeing like a movie Saturday night.
That's because nobody's going, CJ.
Yeah.
Right around dinner time. Nobody was there. It was just like
That was
weird.
exactly our experience yesterday. Now, I mean, we were at like a 6 o'clock show, so it's not like it was like late in the evening or anything. But
6 o'clock on
it was
Saturday.
we were there on
nobody's
Saturday.
seeing
We
movies.
were there on Saturday
Nobody's seeing
night to
movies
see
in the
what's
theater.
like the blockbuster right now, and our theater was empty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was empty.
Yeah.
It was really sad.
Yeah, not many people at the theater itself. Like,
Nope.
just very. And down here, it's a holiday weekend. I would have.
Well, I don't know if
expected-
you're aware, CJ,
People don't see
But,
movies in the theater anymore.
but a big movie can come out, and
Yeah.
if you wait like 2 weeks, you can just watch it at home.
Just like the Fall Guy.
Yeah, just like
Well,
all
and if,
sorts of movies.
if you watch the version that came out on digital for the Fall Guy, there's an extended version with 20 more minutes.
Was there really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And
actually,
you
we
don't
liked
have
it
to-
so much. I bought the digital version of the movie.
Oh, there you
too.
go. See, they
So
got you twice.
They got me
They
twice.
suckered
know.
you twice.
They sure did. It was a fine movie, though. Really,
Oh, it
really- really
looked fun. I
It
haven't
is
watched
fun.
it yet. I'm
quite
waiting for
It'll
when
show
it
up
goes on
on.
sale.
Well, it'll
on
show up on
iTunes.
Netflix or probably Peacock. It's a Universal movie, right?
Oh, well, I'm not paying for Peacock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't be anymore.
Oh.
but I somehow am.
How many times can you rewatch The Office?
I'm going for the record.
I mean, don't you just own a copy of that?
I think I do.
You have to-
Yeah,
I mean-
I think I do.
You have
Right
to
now
own
we're
that.
rewatching Seinfeld.
Yeah.
did that a while
For
back.
like the second time. My daughter super into it, and she starts quoting lines, and she does George Costanza monologues now. She does the
The
whole.
sea was angry that day, my
The
friends.
sea was angry that day, my friends. Yeah, it was like an old man
Sending back soup at a
deli. Yeah, she does that the whole monologue. It's great.
Oh my goodness.
But then we saw a trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine,
Oh right.
Oh, that's the
Before
next
the
one I'm
Fall Guy.
excited to go see.
and my daughter's never seen Deadpool.
Okay.
Now she wants to see Deadpool after that. After that
Well, there are two of
trailer.
them. You got to catch up.
I know, and I was thinking about it. I was like, is Deadpool too adult, like
Yes.
or too violent for my daughter to watch? But she's
Yes.
seen so many movies
Yes.
at this point.
I love
she
that-
watches
I
What
love
We
that-
Do in the Shadows. Has seen the whole series.
I love that
Of
your
that.
reasoning for it being appropriate for her is your terrible parenting choices previous to now.
Correct.
Well, I haven't given a shit for like 10 years now, so she's probably fine.
She's probably good, right? She can probably see Deadpool. But they did I don't know if you remember this, back when Deadpool 2 came out.
I
they
do.
They did a PG cut of Deadpool
Once Upon a
2.
Deadpool.
I think it was a PG-13 cut.
PG-13, and they released it in theaters around Christmas. Well, that's not available like on streaming.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
really? I keep
Yeah, that's
seeing a
kinda
thumbnail
weird,
for it
right?
pop up.
Yeah, I wish it was available on streaming because we'd watch that.
I think, you know what? I think,
Greg?
so I have a, what?
Real quick, not to interrupt, but I'm going to need you to take your glasses off again and hold them closer to your camera and line it up so that your eyes. Now we need to see
It's very
both eyes.
small.
Pull
Yeah,
it back
them
just
up
a smidge.
little bit, just a smidge.
Little bit more. A little bit more. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I assume what you're seeing is hilarious. I can't tell.
Yeah, what we're seeing is your eyes, one in each lens, just magnified, so your eyes look huge.
Well, I mean, they are beautiful.
Well, that's
Yeah.
just it,
No,
right?
what I was going to say is I have a Google TV. So like my home screen on my television is whatever the Google TV home screen is. And of course it's showing up. It shows suggestions, across all the different streaming services and my YouTube subscriptions and stuff like that. It'll show thumbnails, and it constantly shows a thumbnail to Once Upon a Deadpool. But I think
Really?
it's scraping that thumbnail for Deadpool 2 for some reason. Because I think if I was
Yeah.
if I
Okay.
over
I don't
and,
think it's
like
available on
hover over
streaming
it,
anywhere.
it's Deadpool 2, but it's the Once Upon a Deadpool
Yeah.
Hmm.
thumbnail. Best part about that movie was the streaming or I guess there were trailers. Yeah, the trailers for them where it was Princess Bride, based on Princess Bride.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
hilarious.
the framing device of that cut
Is like
yeah.
But I mean the
Princess
the trailers were hilarious.
Yes, but they continue that gag into the actual film.
And I think my daughter would also totally get into the John Wick series as well.
Jesus.
My kid loves murder porn.
Hey, I got to call child services for an unrelated reason.
I'm just kidding. We've not watched John Wick with my daughter yet. Probably will.
With her.
Yeah.
That's not to say she hasn't seen it.
I don't think she's seen it. No. She's just rewatching Seinfeld.
If you don't have parental controls on all your streaming services,
We do.
you've probably seen a lot.
Do.
Oh, do you?
No,
Okay.
we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And her Apple Music as well. She can't listen to any of the explicit lyrics. So now I know the radio.
So you're not gonna carry it forward and listen to Two Live Crew with your.
Yeah.
No.
Let's sit down. We're gonna listen to this together.
Nothing is
It's
bad.
a family tradition now.
as
You're gonna
the Two
explain
Live
to me
Crew.
why you like this.
Yeah. She really likes Olivia Rodrigo, and so she's listening now to all the clean versions of Olivia Rodrigo songs.
Oh,
It's going to confuse the hell out of her when she finally hears the explicit versions.
I know, yeah, exactly. Alrighty, well, should we get into some video game news?
I don't know. This has been kind of fun, but sure.
yeah.
Well, big story. This is probably the biggest news story of the month here.
Of the generation.
I mean, I wouldn't say that, but if you want to label it that, okay.
I mean, we walked on the moon, and then there is
Namco Picross.
Oh, yeah, so you're right. You're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Picross
Finally.
S Namco Legendary Edition comes out on Nintendo Switch May 30th, which is Thursday.
That's this week.
Yes,
I know.
it is.
Yeah.
Get
very
ready.
excited about it. So excited.
Prepare to qualify.
You think they're going to have a Newman Athletics puzzle?
I do not.
I doubt it.
Oh, you never know. Didn't the Sega one have some deep cuts? I thought it did.
Well, I think the trailer also has a list of all the games that they
okay. Well, that's no fun.
Yeah.
are referencing.
And no Newman Athletics.
No Newman
It's
Athletics.
going to be a total of 30 games. Pac-Man, Galaxian, Xevious, Dig Dug, Mappy, Rolling Thunder, House.
I really wish the list had been Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Baby Pac, Super Pac-Man, Pac-Land,
Professor Pac?
Endless Pac-Man,
Yep.
and like Xevious.
I believe it's Pax-Man is the proper plural of that.
Yes. But a total of 585 puzzles across the various modes that you get in a Picross S
Including
title.
the garbage Mega Picross.
I haven't played much Mega Picross, I gotta
That's
say.
because Mega Picross is trash.
Yeah. You keep saying that.
It is.
Well, I've never felt the
I mean, give it a try and tell me
Okay.
what you think.
okay.
I have a feeling you will also think it is.
I probably will think it's garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. But quite possible.
Yeah.
But very excited about this. A new themed version of Picross.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
I'll be there.
We need more of these. Where's
Yeah.
my well, Konami makes its own Picross game on mobile.
They do,
anyway.
actually. Yeah.
So
do
maybe
have that mobile
Konami
game.
won't do it, but maybe we'll see a Capcom Picross.
Oh, that would be
fun.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be real good. All right. Well, the other big story, of course, is I want to just say the video game war is over. The console war has ended.
My God.
Uh-oh.
That's right. The console war is
Humanity is coming to Xbox.
well, that's happening too on Thursday.
Oh, that's not where you were going with
That
that.
wasn't where I was going, but thank
Oh.
you for the plug.
Oh, okay.
Preload.
This is like when they tore down the Berlin Wall.
If you got Xbox Game Pass, you can preload now. But no, what I'm talking about, of course, is that Atari has acquired
Oh.
the Intellivision brand,
Yeah.
putting an end to the first console war.
I mean, that
a fantastic quote from Mike Micah, friend of the show,
Yeah.
Mike Micah, saying, Uniting Atari and Intellivision after 45 years ends the longest running console war in history.
excuse me, but nobody's acquired ColecoVision stuff yet.
That's true.
And that's where the
Not
best
yet.
version of Donkey Kong was.
Can ColecoVision be far behind?
Yeah.
I hope not.
It's
It
gotta
would be
be
great to have more ColecoVision games out there.
gotta be in Atari's sights at this point, right?
But
Well,
it's,
I mean, yeah.
it's important to note
Mm.
that although they did get the Intellivision license,
Yes.
They
they
weren't
did
stupid enough.
not. They did not acquire the valuable Amico name.
The very valuable.
The Intellivision Amico is still its own beast,
Yeah.
free from the shackles of Atari.
Thank
And
goodness. Who wanted Atari coming in and screwing that up?
Yeah.
uh,
But along with it, they now own the rights to more than 200 titles from Intellivision's
name one.
Air Sea Battle.
Baseball,
Is Air Sea Battle something? I don't know.
football,
Shark.
Astro Smash.
I never played
That
any
is actually
television
a
games.
game from the Intellivision.
Well, so was Shark.
I know. I'm just saying. I
Yeah.
was making a stupid joke, but I just wanted to point out that I didn't.
That
know
is
the name of
one.
another game.
I never had an
KC
Intellivision console.
Munchkin.
That's Magnavox.
No.
Odyssey 2. I did have an Odyssey 2. That was
Oh,
my
I
first
remember.
console.
Yeah, the only person I know who had one.
I know.
That's why I was making the KC Munchkin joke. That was just for you, CJ.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, and somebody-
50 when
You know what?
says
Why not?
Bill.
Let's do it. You got those games.
Television
Let's
50?
do some. Why not cover that? Television was great. They
Hmm.
could start at the beginning and end with Tommy. They could be an interview with Tommy Tallarico.
No, well, in the digital clip style of documentary, the last thing would be, and nothing ever happened after. Or like,
Yeah,
the Amico,
after the Intellivision 2 stopped being sold, it's like, and then nothing else ever happened.
nothing else happened.
And it just links you to that H Bomber guy video.
Yeah. We don't know what happened.
Uh,
The internet will never know. Researchers just, yeah. can't
now,
figure it
isn't
out.
I mean, on a more serious note about this, a lot of the original Intellivision developers, what are the Blue Sky Rangers?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
what they were known as? A
I
few
mean,
of those
yeah.
have of those developers have passed on.
Yeah.
Haven't they?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Speaking as someone who makes historical videos about even games from the 90s, let alone the early 80s,
Mm.
like a fair amount of the people that I cover at this point are passing on.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is
Now they're dying a little bit young,
right.
Mm.
but still, I mean, that's the considering how, which I think is great, but considering how interested the video game industry, or well, the fan industry is right now in preserving not only the games themselves, but the stories behind the games and talking to the personalities behind the games. While this industry is very young, it is old enough now that a lot of people are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, so there's a bit of a race there to try to, talk to these people. And
Let's-
that's why I love seeing interviews with, that's why I love like Kevin Bunch does an Atari series where he does not necessarily get a lot of on-camera interviews, but he does a lot of original interviews for his covering these 2600 games. And he also does in television and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
And it's great because again, and I said the same thing when we were talking about Atari 50 and they were talking to a lot of the original Activision people.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh,
a lot of
right.
people are getting up there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
Well, hopefully,
Atari
if
becoming your
they do have plans to do some sort of Intellivision 50 or whatever, I hope
Yeah.
that they're recording some interviews now
Yeah.
that would be good.
while they can.
That'd be a good idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
Atari becoming kind of the steward of retro gaming, like US side retro gaming.
I mean, that's what they're presenting.
That's what
They're just buying
presenting.
IP. That's,
Yeah.
I hesitate to call them heroes in any way, but
But they do have Digital Eclipse.
they
as
do have
well,
Digital
that is
Eclipse.
doing
yes.
very
Yeah.
good work there.
Yes,
so.
absolutely. I
Yeah.
will not hesitate to call Digital Eclipse heroes when it comes to stuff like this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't trust the bigger corporations that are just acquiring everything.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's weird because that seems to be like a big benefit when a large company comes in and buys up a bunch of smaller outlets.
Like IGN.
Oh,
Come on, CJ.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Like
we're
IGN.
setting you up.
When they buy a bunch of video gaming websites.
There you go.
They acquired Gamer Network from ReedPop. So that means now that IGN owns GameIndustry.biz, Eurogamer, Rock Paper Shotgun, VG 24/7, but also Outside Xbox, Digital Foundry, and Nintendo Life, Push Square, Pure Xbox, and Time Extension. So
They don't own them. No, they own shares in them.
They don't own them, right? They don't, those last ones, yeah. Is Hookshot. I'm sorry. No. Yeah, Hookshot is Nintendo Life, Push Square, Pure Xbox, Time Extension. And then Outside Xbox, Digital Foundry. Yeah, they own shares in those. So IGN did not buy Digital Foundry yet.
Yeah.
But
so that whole thing just makes me cringe because all I can think of is the meetings that I'm sure everybody had about how we love what you're doing and we're not going to change anything
until they do.
Until 6 months from now when they need to fix their bottom line and lay off half the people at those places.
Didn't some people get laid off like
already
within minutes of the purchase anyway? Yeah.
Well, of course, IGN is owned by Ziff Davis, which still
exists.
Cracks me up. It still exists somehow. Yeah. And yeah, they already own a bunch of things like How Long to Beat and Humble Bundle. Don't they run Games Radar as well? And a whole bunch of other stuff.
Games Radar was IGN.
But Games Radar is their own site still.
I know, but wasn't it under the IGN umbrella anyway?
I don't know.
Let's go look it up. People love this when we do our research. It goes quiet and all you can hear is keyboards clacking.
Tappa, tappa, tappa.
Tappa, tappa, tappa. Future US.
Yeah.
That's not part of Imagine? No. Was it spun off? Future and Imagine were somehow related at some point. Were they not?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
They were indeed. And speaking of other acquisitions, Nintendo bought a porting studio.
Oh, right.
Yes. They purchased Miami-based Shiver Entertainment. So Shiver has done a number of Switch ports of AAA games, including Hogwarts Legacy and Mortal Kombat 1. And now they're going to be owned by Nintendo. But they will apparently keep doing what they're doing. So contract work to port AAA games to other platforms, including Switch. So that's kind of an interesting acquisition for Nintendo.
So now they're praying for the Switch 2 to get announced.
Well, yeah, I'm sure Shiver Entertainment knows that the Switch 2 is, I'm sure other companies, I'm sure big publishers, AAA especially, know about Switch 2 at this point, right? And hey, if you're Nintendo and you have a development studio that's skilled in porting games to Switch and can help porting games to Switch 2, it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because one of the things about the Switch that has kind of been disappointing is the lack of AAA ports to it. So get a studio who can do it, and hopefully we'll get more of that. But other big news, so there's a rumor that a new Astro Bot game, just called Astro Bot apparently, is close to being announced. Apparently the next 15 days we're going to have the
Game of the Year announcement
of a new Astro Bot game for PlayStation 5. Yes, move over, Hellblade 2. Astro Bot is going to snatch that Goaty Award from you.
I mean, it's Astro Bot.
Goaty Award. God.
Sorry, Senua. It's Astro's time.
It's always Astro's time.
Yeah.
Astro Bot.
But apparently it's just going to be PS5, not a VR game. So
well, why would it be a VR game?
Why would they do that? Why would they release an expensive VR headset and then not release a game? Yeah, that would be a sequel to one of the very best PSVR 1 games starring Astro Bot. Why would they do that? I don't know. Yeah, makes too much sense.
I don't think they care much about VR anymore. I have a feeling that might be the problem.
I guess not.
No.
Yeah.
It sucks. All right. But I'm excited about a new Astro.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
my goodness. I'm very excited about a new Astro Bot.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Me too. So allegedly we're going to get some kind of Sony thing before the end of May. So that has to happen this week.
I mean, the end of May is coming pretty soon.
The end of May is this week. So let's see it. We'll find out if that's going to be a thing. So yeah, Nintendo's going to open up a new store in San Francisco. So there'll be a Nintendo San Francisco in addition to Nintendo New York.
It amazes me that they've never opened another Nintendo store in
the US.
Or in North America. Like even put one in Toronto or something. Like
yeah.
It's just crazy to me that it's been around for so long and they've never expanded to a second store. That's cool.
Yeah, but they are going to. Yeah, it'll be located in Union Square. So, yeah.
Cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've been in Nintendo New York.
It's been a long time since I've been to New York.
Well, on that too.
It's been a long time since I've been to San Francisco.
Same.
Yeah.
I think both of them were pre-pandemic for me.
Last year for me.
I mean, even when we lived there, Union Square was kind of sketchy.
Not really the best.
I'm sure it's cleaned up now.
Oh yeah. It's only gotten better.
Yeah. Somehow I doubt that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird choice because it's not the best area.
Maybe it'll get better.
City.
Yeah. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe the Nintendo store is all they need to get people together.
It might be the beginning.
Playing Switch, holding those Joy-Cons, playing Smash Brothers together.
What's going to be nice though, and make it kind of like a more immersive experience, because it's Nintendo, it's Mario. Mario's a plumber. He's down in the sewers a lot. And San Francisco smells like urine.
You're not wrong.
And you'll occasionally find human feces on the street. So
You're not wrong.
Sometimes it's being thrown.
Exactly.
I haven't seen any thrown. I do agree with the urine.
I love how. Now that's not fair, Greg. I've never actually seen anyone throwing their feces. Yes, it's scattered all over the street.
That's a bridge too far.
I've certainly seen it.
Someone has thrown their own feces.
I've certainly seen a pile of crap.
That wasn't feces. Sidewalk. That was a Chipotle burrito.
Oh boy!
All right.
Remember when the escalators? I believe wasn't it at the Union Street BART station?
Oh yes.
Where the elevators got shut down because the gears got too clogged with human feces.
Yes. No, I think that's still just a regular happening.
Oh my god.
It's a semi-frequent thing these days.
Science doesn't know how to solve those conundrums.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah. Oh, but science does know how to tell you how to play Minecraft. I don't know if you guys saw this. Microsoft was showing off their Copilot AI service.
Oh, I did see this.
It will suggest things for you to do in Minecraft.
Right.
And while this isn't going to make me play Minecraft, obviously, but I like the idea.
Just keep saying go build something over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you build something? Come on.
Explore.
That's what this game's all about. Explore.
Lay down some blocks. Come
on.
You don't have a lot of this
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gather the brown bricks.
Gather ye
craft.
No.
Go through the portal. Defeat the Elder Dragon. Or whatever. What's the thing you do at the end of Ender
Dragon.
I thought you were right, CJ.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is you're gonna embarrass me at Minecon this year.
Every year. It's every year. I'll do that. No problem. But yeah, I thought it was interesting, like having AI watch what you're doing in a game and then suggest next steps or like things for you to do. And we're already kind of seeing like on the Sony side of things, I don't know if you saw the community-based game help stuff actually went live, and now you can opt in to having your gameplay recorded and uploaded as part of that. And it's no longer going to be behind the PlayStation Plus paywall for that stuff, which I think is actually kind of nice, that there's a possibility that the community can help make your game experience better, and maybe AI can help make your gaming experience better. I don't know. I'd like it if you know when you take like a really long break, like from a game, and you come back to it and you don't know what the hell
You forget
you're
what the
doing.
buttons do.
You forget what everything does.
Yeah.
Just asking, like being able to ask an AI co-pilot.
You look like you don't know what these buttons do.
Exactly.
Would you like us to replay the tutorial?
Yeah.
You seem to be just kind of randomly hitting buttons.
I would say yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, I would too.
That's fantastic.
I'm not gonna lie about that.
Or like the features in many RPGs that tell you, like when you load a save or you're watching like a load screen, it's kind of telling you what you did last.
Oh
I like that
fan.
idea. Can we use AI in that regard for game development to make that easier to be a feature in more games?
Previously on Final Fantasy VII.
I'd be down with that. Yeah.
And now the conclusion.
Earth-shattering conclusion.
On a very special Final Fantasy VII. All right.
Yeah.
I think that's all we had for the news.
Oh, that's the news.
Yeah, so we can get into what you've been playing.
Okay.
Greg, why don't you kick us off there?
Sure. So I managed to finish up Heading Out this week.
Ooh, nice.
Which I talked about a couple of weeks ago. I don't think I spoke about it last week. So Heading Out is a game, and I can't remember the name of the company that makes it. Sim something or
SimCity.
Yeah, that's it.
SimCity. It's a Saber interactive game.
It is a Saber interactive game, but that's not who developed it. Anyway.
No, you're right.
So yeah, it's basically a mixture of a driving game and I would say digital novel is the best way to describe it.
Serious sim.
Serious sim, that's it.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting setup. The whole idea is that you start at I don't remember if you start at the same city in each chapter. The game is played through 4 chapters. But it's kind of like a Groundhog Day scenario where every chapter you restart from the beginning. But the whole idea is that you start on like an eastern city in the United States, and then you're on technically a road trip to get to another city somewhere out west. But with each chapter, the cities get further and further west till the final chapter. You're actually going all the way to the West Coast in California. And so a lot of it, the main game is driven through a map screen. You're on a map that has multiple connections between mostly major cities in the United States. And you choose which city you're going to. The map's interactive in that it will cost you a certain amount of money and take a certain amount of time to get between cities. But you can actually pull on the accelerator and you'll go faster, but it costs you more money. And basically the whole idea is that you don't want to run out of money. Not because the game will be over, but because that means at the next city that you stop at, when you gas up, you won't have the money to pay for it. So then you get into a driving scene where you're being chased by the police. And then there's a bunch of little icons along each route that, you stop, and sometimes you're just listening to a radio host. There's like 3 or 4 different radio stations that you're constantly listening to, and they all kind of have their own stories. There's one that's very clearly a Rush Limbaugh knockoff. And they all kind of speak about each other, and they're talking about you. You're called the Interstate Jackalope. You're a well-known folk hero, I guess, / crook.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes you'll stop and you'll just get into races. Sometimes you'll get chased by the cops, and all those are done in actual like 3D driving game, a 3D driving game. And the whole idea is that you're being chased by your fear, and you don't really know what your fear is. You're outrunning your fears. They're coming behind you. So as you're moving across the map, routes behind you are turning red. And if that red line catches you, then again, you get into a a driving game scene where you need to outrun your fear. And every driving scene is usually based on a song. So there's an original song playing, and that's how they decide, like, if you're leading at the end of the song, you've won the race, or if you're ahead of the cops or have lost the cops by the end of the song, or you've outrun your fear, that sort of thing. And it's all presented in black and white with which is probably my favorite part of it, because I'm a sucker for that kind of presentation where the entire game's in black and white, but it has different colors, like that, different items that have some color to them. So like anything that has to do with fear is red, and as your fear is closer behind you, when you're in the driving scenes, you can actually see the sky turning red, which is kind of nice.
That's cool.
The police lights are always flashing red. Your opponents, when you're racing, or their cars are always yellow, and when you get to the final part of each chapter, you're in a race where the car that you're racing is blue, and it's leaving like a blue trail behind it. But then there's like, the digital novel stuff is sometimes you'll stop along the road, or when you stop into a major city and you go searching, when you decide to search the city and stuff like that, you'll come across different sort of 2 or 3 image scenes with some narration that, it could be that it's another thief and they try to steal from you, and do you chase them or you just let them go? Or, somebody comes up to you and says, can you deliver this package? Or you see some kind of injustice happening, and you kind of either want to let it go, or you step in, and sometimes that gets you in more trouble. And like it always, your fame and your wanted level and your resources, basically including money, are sort of always being changed by these selections. It's a cool setup. It's not a very long game. One thing that I really love is it actually has what I think they call it a focus meter, which is basically how tired you are. And as that gets reduced through the game, what will end up happening, and this did happen to me once, you'll be in a driving scene, and if that meter is really low, your driver will actually start to fall asleep. So the sound will get really thin, and the screen will start to vignette a little bit, like your eyes are closing. And the further you go, the longer those sections have, and it will eventually blink, so the screen will go black for a second, but the longer you're in that state, the longer those blinks are. It's pretty cool. It's a cool setup. The whole idea is that you play these different chapters, because when you play through the first chapter, you don't really know what's going on. You've completed the chapter, but nothing's really explained all that well. So it's like I said, a Groundhog Day thing almost, where like you die at the end of each chapter, and then you wake up and you're in the same situation. You're just going to a different city, and sort of more information reveals itself as you go. So all in all, I really enjoyed it. But I will say that by the end of it, it was starting to wear thin. There's a lot of cool systems going on in there, and the story stuff is pretty good, although it did start repeating itself a fair bit by the end, the different story bits that you get into. It's clear that the creators want you to play this multiple times and take sort of more circuitous routes around the country, because there are different things you can do, like you can stop the fear for a while, you can lower your wanted level and stuff like that, and as you cross into new states, the wanted level drops because different police forces and that sort of thing. I don't see myself ever doing that. I don't think there's necessarily enough there to be engaging for multiple playthroughs. And the other thing that I would say is you also keep unlocking faster cars. There's 4 cars total, and the game's physics are decent, but the faster you're going and the more obstacles you have to deal with later in the game, it definitely starts to fall victim to its only decent driving physics. It's really easy to lose control a lot. So I'm not super down on it or anything like that. I did enjoy it, and I'm glad that I played through it, and it's not too long, but it's definitely as long as it needs to be, because had there been another chapter, I probably wouldn't have wanted to play it.
Okay.
So overall, decent. I wouldn't say amazing. If it sounds interesting and you can get it for cheap, because it wasn't that expensive to begin with.
It's only it's a $20 game.
Yeah, I would say go for it. It's a good, 5 hours or so, I think, is what I end up playing. I will say though, it was the perfect use case for the whole reason why I own a Steam Deck, because that's how I played it. And I just a lot of times I had it on my dock, so I was playing it on my television.
Oh, nice.
But on the Steam Deck, so I loved that. That was great. So I need another PC game to play right now. And the other game that I started playing this week, which I guess I'm the only one of the three of us, because you both dived into Paper Mario, but I ended up downloading Hellblade 2. I meant to start playing it the other night, and I just sort of was too tired to start, and I only started today, so I've only played it for like maybe an hour. It's more of Hellblade, which I'm not sold on yet, because Hellblade was an experience that was really interesting and felt groundbreaking to a point at the time, and it was kind of really praised for that. But right now this just feels like a higher fidelity continuation of that. And I'm not sure that that's going to be enough to hold my interest, although I hear that's a rather short game as well.
I've heard that too.
So far it's been, just a walking simulator with a million people yelling at me all the time, which is just my life. So why? But and combat, you fight like usually right now I'm into combat where you're fighting like one person at a time. The combat's pretty good. I don't remember what the combat was like in the previous game, but I do kind of like the combat. Feels very like close, and it's all about parrying and dodging at the right time and timing your attacks sort of perfectly. And I am kind of digging it. I don't know if I'm going to dig it when I'm doing it for like the 100th time, because the battles I've been in so far have felt very samey. But I don't know how combat heavy the game's going to be. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, it's not grabbing me yet, but I really haven't played it for very long. So I'm going to give it some more time this week and probably have a better impressions to share next week. But that's really it. Okay. That's what I'm playing.
I see. Well, Phil.
What?
Why don't you tell us what you've been playing?
Okay. I guess I will.
Okay.
Greg mentions that I jumped into Paper Mario, which is not really true. I certainly picked it up and I certainly played a bit of it, but I'm not going to play two RPGs simultaneously. That is...
Well, you better finish one of them.
Well, I've already started one, so I'll check in with Mario again in about 100 hours. But I did pop it in just for a little bit because it's Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door. It's a great game.
It is a great game.
We all know it's a great game. So I just wanted a little extra taste of that to remember how wonderful that game was. And that's a really cute game. I like Paper Mario. I will definitely be returning to that once I finish the other game on my plate, which is, of course, Ichiban's Adventures in Hawaii in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which I am continuing to play.
Yeah.
And yet again, I don't want to get too deep into what I'm doing because I know you're going to be playing it at some point, CJ, and I don't want to spoil anything, but let me skip ahead. I'm gonna toss this over to you real quick because I know you finished a game.
I did finish a game. I finished Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a shorter Yakuza game at only 5 chapters.
Yes.
So it was easy enough to finish, and I did that today.
Very good.
Yeah, feeling good about it. And I'm not sure if I'm going to jump into Infinite Wealth right away.
Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh.
Traitor.
Yeah, I was
Why
thinking
do you
about it because now
so much?
I have spent so many hours.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
With the Like a Dragon series, and it has been great.
Yeah.
But Paper Mario just came out.
I see.
There are other games to get back to and play. Killer Clowns comes out this week in early access, pre-order access. So, got things happening.
So you're giving up. You're giving
I
up.
don't know if I'm giving up.
You know who would never give up on you, CJ?
Oh, Ichiban Kasuga. of
Kasuga Ichiban would
Jesus.
never give up on you.
course. That's true.
And
That's
here
very
you
true.
are.
Well, I said I might hold off on playing more.
You're
but
done. You're done.
I'm not sure.
I know how you
will.
work. You checked out.
Hey, I've actually finished 2 Yakuza games.
You
in
did,
the last
actually.
few
That's
months.
very good.
Like, that's pretty damn good for
It is.
considering how often I finish video
is.
games, which is not as often as I'd like.
I did I'm continuing the game. I continued the story a bit. I had a bonkers plot realization show up. There was I think I mentioned last time I'd kind of stopped before heading into an enemy gang territory.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was going around doing some of the side quests, doing some of the sometimes wacky, sometimes poignant side stories. But I did continue into the enemy territory, and just again bonkers stuff happens that I don't want to spoil. But I love that game. I am continuing to really dig that game. I'm glad I'm back in Ichiban world. So I hope one day you decide to pick it up again.
I will.
As fleeting of a hope as that might be,
I will.
I hope you do.
I only just finished Like a Dragon Gaiden today.
Get cracking.
I will.
You're wasting time.
I'm sure that I will.
You should be sitting here with your PlayStation Portal, ignoring us,
and just playing Infinite
playing. Yes,
I see.
Absolutely.
I see. Oh.
You know what else I played?
What's that?
A bit of. I'm starting to do this again. I dove back into Dave the Diver.
Yeah.
Dave the Diver. Because the whole reason I want to play Dave the Diver has come out this week. And that, of course, is the Godzilla DLC.
Yeah.
Which is
available
free.
only for a limited time.
Yeah,
it's
You have to download it.
With the license.
like
You
for
have to-
till November.
You have to download it before, November something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Toho license, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Can't
they'll
have it forever.
they'll take it away.
Yep.
Toho giveth, and Toho taketh away. So get your Gojira on ASAP.
Yes.
But I did absolutely download it. And I started up because I downloaded Dave the Diver a little bit ago. Played a very a smidge, just like the first level or two, or the first round or two or whatever.
Sure.
And I wasn't sure, when the Godzilla DLC comes out, is that going to be like a separate mode or?
Right. Or are they going to incorporate it into the story of Dave the Diver?
Turns out they incorporated into the story, apparently.
I see. So
when
do you have
I
to get to a certain point?
when I
before-
downloaded it, I booted the game up, and a little window pops up that says, "Hey, you just downloaded the Godzilla DLC. You will be able to access this at a certain point near the end of chapter 5."
Oh, okay. So
Which-
not that long.
I have no idea how long
Yeah.
a chapter is in this game, but you say it's not that long.
I don't think so. No,
Okay.
that probably
Well-
won't be long.
Good.
Yeah.
So I'll have to in my off moments when I'm not tooling around Hawaii with my lovable gang of low lifes and weirdos,
Yeah.
I will do a little diving with Dave, so I
As well you
can
should.
see what happens
Yeah.
with the king of the monsters.
Yeah.
You know him as Godzilla. But that's what I've been playing this week. I mean, again, mostly the Ichiban. So
Is it surprising to you how much you've gotten into Yakuza?
absolutely.
Because I'm surprised by how much I've gotten into it.
Absolutely. And I'm telling you,
this is not for lack of trying before. Like,
and
before I had played Yakuza Kiwami, I played some of Zero.
Yep.
I had played, some of the other games as they hit various subscription services or whatnot, but nothing ever really hooked me.
You know what it is? Because it is, I've always loved the Yakuza games when I've played them.
Yeah.
But it always gets to a point where I will get like 20 hours in or 30 hours in, and it starts to feel overwhelming because there is so much stuff to do in those games.
Yeah.
And so much side stuff that distracts you from the main story. But it's not a bad thing because the side stuff is actually really fun and introduces a lot of fun kind of story elements and fun little gameplay mini games and things like that. But this game, I'm telling you, 100%, it is because of the cast of characters.
Yeah.
That
and the Sugimon.
And the Sugimon. Gotta capture them all, I believe. They gotta
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Boy, they doubled down on the Sugimon in Infinite Wealth, by the way.
Oh, did they? I mean, that's part of the reason why I like Yakuza Like a Dragon so much, is just the I mean, they amped up. Yakuza was never like a completely serious game before, but man, they really amped it up in Like a Dragon.
It's a lot goofier.
Yeah, because Like a Dragon Gaiden is not that goofy, really.
No.
Comparatively.
That's the thing too. Dana watched me play a fair bit of the first Ichiban game, and then she watched me play Man Who Erased His Name.
Yeah.
And she was a little surprised by how comparatively tame and serious that game was.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's, you'll play through one of the Kiryu games, and there'll be a side mission where you have to like help collect cats for a cat cafe or something like that.
Sure.
But it doesn't get too much wilder than that.
You're not battling a giant Roomba.
That is true.
Generally.
Right.
Yeah.
But you do battle a giant Roomba a couple times.
A few times. Like a Dragon.
Through Ichiban's adventures.
Yeah. And just the characters themselves, the enemies are just, they're wild and super fun to fight.
In Infinite Wealth, when you encounter a group of goons and you fight them, sometimes when you end the battle, one of the enemies you just fought will be standing there still, and you can attempt to capture them.
Of course.
Yes, and you do that by presenting them with a gift. And you have, it turns into a little button mashing mini game.
Oh, that's cool.
But if you do it correctly, they will accept your gift and join your party. Nice. And then you can go around and you will find other Sugimon trainers hanging out around the map, and you can engage in a battle with your team of Sugimon.
I love it.
So they really do double down on the Sugimon stuff in this game, which is amusing.
Oh, that's exciting. So I guess I'm going straight into Infinite Wealth.
Oh, there it is. I got him.
Didn't take much.
I got
him. So I finished Like a Dragon Gaiden, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Yep.
I was expecting, and you mentioned, that you play scenes from Like a Dragon, but from Kiryu's point of view, or sorry, Joryu's point of view.
Yeah. Who's Kiryu?
Who's Kiryu?
I've never heard of that guy.
No. But then I kept waiting for the scene, because there is a scene where you fight Kiryu in Like a Dragon.
That is true.
I kept waiting for that scene. I was like, where am I going to see Kiryu's perspective on that scene?
Oh yeah.
And it never happened. I was like, what?
Nope.
I was like, is this going to happen after the dissolution of the Omi and Tojo clans? No.
Nope.
I was
Nope.
like, when did that scene happen? I'm trying to remember. It's like,
I
what?
believe it happens before the dissolution.
It happens before the dissolution. Yeah. But I was like, where? Because that was always something I was interested in. It's like, okay, Kiryu pops up.
Yeah.
Why did he pop up at that moment? Like, I was
Right.
expecting, okay, since Like a Dragon Gaiden is parallel to the events of Like a Dragon, like,
Yep.
show me that. And it didn't happen. So I don't
No.
know.
What
Is
you
that-
need to wait for is Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name Gaiden.
Oh, there you go. Side story of a side story.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Okay.
So
I was disappointed though.
I'm
That
sorry.
didn't happen. But I did enjoy the dissolution.
Okay, you got that scene.
Which was very much like the Back to the Future Part 2 sequence that I was hoping for, and
Yeah.
I got it, and it was like,
Yeah.
yes,
Yep. Kiryu was just off camera.
just to the side when
Yep.
you were playing Like a Dragon.
Ichiban's in
Couldn't
the
see it.
next room over having his big fight. And you're kind of holding it down over in this little side room.
That's right. And there's one battle where you see the other characters fighting
Oh yeah.
in the same room, and it's just awesome. That
Yeah.
was just an awesome moment. It's
Yes,
like,
it is.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, I enjoyed it quite a lot. I liked the characters. I thought the villains were great. I
Yeah.
thought Shishido was great. Tsuruno was great. Nishitani was a great bad guy.
Oh yeah. But again,
A lot
how
of
great-
fun, dramatic scenes in.
how great was it though?
Yeah.
How big of a smile ended up on your face when you get to that scene at the headquarters and you see Ichiban
Yeah.
and Nanba and Adachi and the whole crew just lined up and you're just like, oh,
I know. Yeah.
they're all together again.
I had a grin on my face.
It's great.
Yeah,
It's
it was
great.
great. Yeah, and the world building of this series is just great. Like
Yeah.
I really like it quite a bit, even though now I've only really played 2 of the games in the
Yeah.
series.
Hey, still.
But I like it a lot, and it wasn't too difficult of a game at all
No,
because
no.
I had it on easy. I had it on the easiest setting.
Why wouldn't
so,
you?
Yeah, just to blow through Gaiden so
Exactly.
I can get to Infinite Wealth, which I'm sure I'll do. But anyway.
Yes. What else have you been playing?
I also played Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door.
There it is.
Yeah,
Never heard of it.
I played more of it apparently than you did.
Oh, absolutely.
Uh,
Like I said, I just kind of dipped my toe into it just to remember. Oh, this game is great.
Yeah. Well, I'm already in Hooktail Castle.
Well, look
which
at you.
is, yeah, the first sort of area that you go into Petal Meadow, and find yourself in Hooktail Castle because Hooktail the dragon has a crystal star that you need. And so yeah, I'm in Hooktail Castle and having a lot of fun with the game. Now, when it came out on GameCube, I did play it. I don't remember too much of it. And I haven't played it since. So
Yeah.
I don't remember a whole lot about the game. So I'm sort of coming at it very fresh, let's say. But I'm enjoying the hell out of it. It looks great. The combat is
looked
fun.
great on GameCube. So
I mean, well, yeah, it still looked great on GameCube, but I'm not perturbed by the lack of 60 frames per second visuals because I know that the GameCube version was that and the Switch version is not. But yeah, I'm having a blast with it. Yeah, it's a fun little game, and my daughter has been watching me play as well, and she's enjoying the writing, the very humorous writing in Thousand Year Door. So yeah,
It's a good game.
great. It's a great game. I mean,
It's a good game.
what's more to say about it? It's really good. Yeah.
But it's about time it got a re-release on a modern day system.
It is, and it made me think about Wind Waker HD and how much I want that to be on the Switch.
Yeah.
Because I beat Wind Waker HD when it was out on the Wii U, and That was the first time I had beaten Wind Waker. I didn't beat it on the GameCube. So I want that back to finish it again. Finish Wind Waker again. And I kind of hope that they bring even more quality of life fixes to a new version if they do it.
Yeah.
So that would be nice. Yeah.
Is that it?
And that's pretty much it.
That's all you've been playing?
Pretty much all I've been playing. I did pre-order Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Of course you did.
As I mentioned earlier, I had watched some previews of it, watched some developer playthroughs, and it looks like it's going to be real fun.
Good.
So I'm into it.
I would have played more this week, but I had to spend 4 hours watching a review of a Star Wars hotel.
Man, everybody watched that video.
That?
I brought that up at dinner last night, and my friend Jim was like, "Oh my god, I know exactly what video you're talking about. I watched it too."
Why?
Huh?
Why would you watch?
Why? Because I'll tell you what.
Incredible.
Exactly. So like it came up suggested on my feed, but the reason I watched it was because she called out that she actually went on the experience, that she wasn't one of the influencers that went on like the abridged version where they guided them through a few different moments and then they all did reviews of it. And my main thing was I wanted to go to that thing, but I would never have been able to afford it. And of course now it's closed. I'll never have the chance. So it's like, I really wanted to see what it looked like in there and what it was all about. And then I started watching the video. I'm thinking like, I'll just watch the part where she's in there and that's it. And I didn't watch it all in one sitting, but I watched the entire thing because it was excellent. Wow. She had some great insights. It was just a very interesting video.
I've actually been a fan of Jenny's videos for quite some time now. She's actually one of the handful of Patreons that I subscribe.
Really?
Oh yeah. Huh. And I'll tell you what, for as infrequently as she puts out like real air quotes on videos on her YouTube channel, she does she puts out monthly videos on her Patreon.
Oh, right on.
The original idea was that they were supposed to be like really short, kind of off the cuff videos, but now those have kind of ballooned to like 2.5 hour videos.
Jesus.
Well,
oh my God.
So, but yeah, it's if you are interested, CJ, in just hearing a very in-depth analysis of a probably bad idea from the get-go that somehow managed to get made.
She really did the work.
It is definitely worth watching.
There are callbacks to how things were promised when they first were breaking ground on Galaxy's Edge that kind of disappeared and reappeared as part of this experience. Like she really knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
And it was just very engaging from start to finish. Like, and I'm not somebody who, if I see a video is like longer than 20 minutes or so, there's a very little chance I'm even going to click on it.
Right.
Which I realize the irony there because my videos are starting to get longer too. But like, I mean, it's the same thing with like, I stream on Twitch 3 times a week, but I don't watch Twitch streams. But like, I would never.
It's also broken up into many.
That's just it. And
smaller segments.
But there are other YouTubers that I follow, like that I'll watch everything they do, and I really love what they do. But like, if it's over an hour, I'm like, I don't know if I'm even gonna start watching this. So I couldn't believe I ended up watching that whole thing.
Yeah,
but it was good.
It's informative. It's funny.
Yeah,
you should at least check it out a little bit, CJ, even if you don't watch the whole thing.
Okay, maybe I will.
Just start it up and see if it grabs you.
Okay. Well, I guess that means it's time for tweets.
Tweet and a tweet and a tweet.
Alrighty, let's do this one from Hacker Alias Jiggins, who says, I found time to play Hi-Fi Rush after 140 hours in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Loved it. And I'm so annoyed at the recent news. It's amazing and should be championed as such. Thanks, Whimsical Phil.
You are welcome. I deserve all the thanks for every enjoyment of Hi-Fi Rush. No one else has done as much it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
I am so bummed about Tango GameWorks
Me too.
going away because Hi-Fi Rush is so much fun. But
just truly an original looking, feeling, production values.
Did you play any more of it, CJ? I know you had kind of.
I started it up again on PlayStation. Yeah, I have not played any more of it. No.
Okay. Oh, you were finishing up Yakuza.
I was finishing up Yakuza. Yeah.
And now you got Paper Mario. I get it.
There's too many freaking games.
There's a lot.
You remember when EGM did that too many games cover?
I do.
Well, multiply that by about 10. At this point, like there's so much to play. And yeah.
Well, I'm glad. Who
this
sent
was
this?
Jiggins.
What is it?
Jiggins. Acrelius Jiggins. They have a question as well.
Oh, there's a question.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway, what games don't get enough love in your eyes? For me, it's the Trails of series by Falcom.
Oh.
Yeah. I always hear a lot about the Trails series, and I don't think that's for me. I don't know. Yeah. What games don't get enough love?
I mean, I enjoy a good Musu game.
Oh.
And the general public does not. Which, fair enough. I get it.
Yeah.
But I think, if more people would open their hearts to them, maybe you'll find something you would enjoy. CJ.
Yeah.
CJ, our ever cynical, empty-hearted CJ found love of the Musu series. All they had to do was add Zelda.
All they had to do was put it in the Zelda IP. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
CJ, your heart is not empty and black.
Generally,
I was being jestful.
Sometimes it's true. But let's see. I would say VR games. VR gaming.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it doesn't get enough love from Sony.
Yeah, really.
Well, there's that. But no, I feel like it doesn't get enough love from gamers in general. Like, I feel like games come out in VR all the time that are awesome. And it's so nobody's talking about them.
The big problem with it, and it's the very obvious problem. I'm not breaking any ground here.
Yeah.
But the fact is, CJ, you and I can sit here all day and talk about how great Swarm is.
Yes.
And how cool it feels to play it and how exciting it feels when you're dashing around in VR in that game and swinging around and shooting and swiveling around. We can talk about that until we turn blue.
Yeah.
But the fact is, there is no possible way for people to really get that.
Yeah.
Unless they play it.
Well,
and there's no way for them to play it without buying a headset.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, too, I don't know that this is a huge issue, but you mentioned earlier, Phil, because I was actually listening, that when you play the Yakuza games, that Dana was watching for a second. Dana was watching while you were playing.
She was.
Yeah.
But VR games are so isolating. You can't do that. Even if, like, it's casting to a screen.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, like, PSVR does that.
Sure.
So people in the room
the meta can do that too.
But exactly. But you're still isolated in your little cocoon. So it gets rid of all social aspects completely. I mean, playing online is not the same as talking to somebody in the room.
Not many people are streaming VR games in general too. Like,
well, and even if you do,
and even then, you're not getting the experience from that.
You're not.
The person is
even if you like an outsider watching a VR game being played on a flat screen, is probably just going to get nauseous because when I'm in the world and I'm using Swarm as an example just because that game is so much fun.
Yes.
And it feels so immersive. When I'm whipping my head around and pew 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 and thwip 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 all over the place,
Probably
you
not
know,
going to look too good with
it-
if somebody
it
watching a
feels
video of
natural to me because I'm looking where I want to look, and but to anyone else, I'm just jerking my head around wildly because they're not
Yeah.
in my brain thinking of what I'm looking at or what objects I'm trying to follow. So it's just going to be nonsense
Yeah.
to them. So there's no way to experience it without, either having a friend who happens to have a headset or throwing down the hundreds of dollars yourself.
That's true. Well, maybe that
So-
rumored, because there's a rumor that MetaQuest is about to do light version of the MetaQuest 3.
Oh, really?
It's going to use the lenses from the Quest 2, like the lens technology from the Quest 2, but be powerful enough to run Quest 3 specific games, like that new Batman. So maybe it'll be lower cost as well.
Okay.
So maybe that'll get more people into it. I don't know. But
So it'll have
do
the power, but it won't look quite as nice.
It'll look nice
that-
still, but it won't be the pancake lenses. So
Right. I mean, the Quest 2 looks great.
Quest 2 looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to have your eye, like sometimes you get out of the sweet spot and
Right.
the visuals don't look as sharp.
Right.
But with pancake lenses like are in the Quest 3,
Mm-hmm.
there's no sweet spot. Everything
Okay.
looks crisp. So
Which is crazy because pancakes are totally sweet.
and you don't want them crispy. Well, sometimes you do. Depends.
I mean, a little crispiness around the edge is fine.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
but-
yeah.
It's a fine line.
Yeah. And I will also say asymmetrical multiplayer games don't get enough love.
I mean, they do from you.
They do from me.
That's your Musu.
That's my moose. That's
That's
right.
my Musu, baby.
Yeah, that's right. What about you, Greg? You got anything?
I got nothing.
Nothing?
Nah. I'm sitting here trying to think of, you guys covered everything well.
Everything well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this one from Hacker Alias Gore-Tex Cowboy, who says, as longtime gamers, what is the one thing you love and one pet peeve you have for both modern and classic gaming?
Ooh.
One pet peeve I have about classic gaming is that it hasn't been well preserved.
that was going to be mine.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to use real hardware, because then a lot of it also doesn't play very well. You know what?
Yeah.
Actually, here you go.
What's that?
I miss light gun shooters.
Oh, that is a good one.
I really miss light gun shooters.
Yeah.
You know where there are light gun shooters? VR.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Uh,
No, my I'm gonna be cranky old man here for a second. My pet peeve about modern gaming is that everyone is chasing the games as a service
Yeah.
payoff, and I just
Mm.
I've never felt more like a data point in my life
Oh yeah.
than I do when I
Yeah.
turn on most, not all, but most modern games, and it's just I'm really down on that lately,
Yeah.
in general, but lately especially. I can't stand FOMO.
Yeah.
And it seems like everything is built on that now, and the AAA game landscape just drives me crazy.
I want more modern games to do the thing that Halo Infinite did, that Deceive Inc. did. A couple other games have done this where they have season passes, but you can buy them anytime. You can buy into them at any time and receive those rewards. Or Helldivers 2 does this too, where you can buy into the pass or whatever at any point, unlock all that content. You're not missing anything.
Right.
I like that direction better than the sort of, okay, here's the battle pass. You have 90 days to complete it,
Right.
and then it's gone. So if you pay $10, you better also be ready to spend hours of your time
It's
to
a good
unlock all the
compromise.
stuff, right?
It's a good compromise.
But I also
Really
get
great.
why people could look at Halo Infinite and that season pass FOMO thing, and maybe that's why Halo Infinite isn't as popular, because there's no FOMO getting people back to play it, right? Like
It's
Yeah.
and I mean it's part of a larger issue. It's not just games that do this, but oh my god, our entire we're drowning in subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
we are
like,
drowning in
Our whole
subscriptions.
lives are subscriptions now, and it's everything from like
Yeah.
using Photoshop to movies,
Yeah.
to video games, everything. And it's just like, and I mean,
Well,
oh
it's
my God,
that
it's
at
so
the
much.
expense of the user experience of it too. It's like
Yes.
Max pulling content off of
Well, that's what I'm
the
getting at. It's
service
like,
and then selling it to Netflix.
or,
And
turning on Prime and having to watch an ad, even though I pay a monthly subscription for Prime.
Yep.
before
How is that
Fallout.
better than cable?
Yep.
It's not.
Exactly.
It's not. Or not being able to find Once Upon a Deadpool on any streaming service. Right? Like
So yeah, I mean, not to get too far into the streaming service stuff at all, but just saying in general, like, it's just
No, you're right.
We have so many. Everything is a subscription service now. Even playing online on your console is a subscription service. And I realize things cost money, but holy shit, like it's so much now.
Yeah,
that's my pet peeve about modern gaming. But it's not just about gaming; it's life in general right now.
Yeah, I completely agree about that. I mean, there's so many good games out right now. Like when we talk about modern gaming, like I know there's some parts of it that are not great, but man, we are swimming in fantastic games.
Yeah, and that's why I'm always careful to say that, because it's clearly not the entire industry, but such a huge chunk of it.
Yeah,
is like that. But you can find the non games as service experiences, sure, and there's some really great stuff out there for sure.
Yeah. I was just checking, CJ. You can't even buy Once Upon a Deadpool on iTunes.
No, you cannot.
No,
it's just not available. Is it?
That happens a lot.
Well, I was trying to see if Once Upon a Deadpool was like an extra in the Deadpool 2. Like if I bought Deadpool 2, would it be an extra? Nope.
It's not even that, huh?
No. Guess I got to get a DVD player, and I don't even think it came out on DVD, which is a shame.
Yeah, I don't.
But anyway.
One thing I like about modern gaming, and this is coming from a guy who still buys a lot of physical, is just the convenience of it. It is the fact that you can just, if there's a new game coming out and you want to play it,
that's fair.
You can just, you don't have to worry about going to a store. You don't have to worry about it being in stock or if it's selling out. You click a button, you pay for it. A couple minutes later, boom, it's ready to play.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been all in on digital for a couple of years now. And as someone who still has a pretty big game collection, I haven't bought a physical game this whole generation. Yeah. And I'm totally happy about that.
Yep.
Yeah. And to be able to, I don't have to thumb through a physical game collection at all. It's all on my consoles. Ever since I think 2010 was when I went all digital on everything. And so I don't have to look at a shelf. I can just load up the library and look at all of the games that I own, quote unquote own, or are digitally renting, let's say.
Yeah.
But it's great. I love not having to swap discs. I can just hop into something. It's great for a multiplayer game as well. Like if you're playing something single player like Infinite Wealth, and then a friend is like, hey, come play Fortnite or something like that, you can easily just shift over. It's fantastic. Fantastic.
You pre-purchase a game digitally, and literally the minute it becomes available,
you can play it.
It just turns on and you can just start playing it immediately.
Yeah.
And kind of expanding on that, you're playing your game on your TV and you just pop out your Switch, you're playing it on the go. You got your Portal.
Now you're talking CJ's language.
You got your Steam Deck.
Yeah, Steam Deck.
You got whatever nonsense you use to stream your Xbox.
That's true. I mean, that's, and it's sort of been getting better and better the more we go, even when we were able to start shifting save files from one console to another and things like that. I mean, because we all grew up in the time when, I don't know how many televisions you guys had in your homes, but we had one. Mm-hmm. And that's where you played your games, and you only played them when you were allowed to use that. And it's nice to have your own screens for
I was in junior high when I got my own TV.
I think I was as well.
I think I was in high school.
It was a Well, my first TV that I got in my bedroom was intended to be used as my Commodore 64 monitor,
For homework.
which
Yeah,
yes, and I
sure.
talked my parents into getting the Commodore 64 for me for homework.
Yeah.
And of course that needs a monitor.
Yeah.
And well, this TV has an AV jack on it, which was not super common in the mid 80s.
True.
So I had my little, you switch it to the video and I'm tap on my computer and you switch it to the TV mode. And all of a sudden, now I got a TV. I can
Tappa.
hook up my Nintendo through the coax port on the back. I had to pause and remember what a coax cable was. It's been a minute,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was like a whole world of possibilities opening up when I got my TV in my room.
I remember when I got a TV, I think I was in high school. My dad must have got a good deal on it because we didn't have a lot of money, but it was pretty big. It was like 21 inches.
Oh wow.
Mm.
It was pretty big. And
my little Commodore monitor was like a 12-inch TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's what I had too.
but I had that thing for like maybe 2 months, and then the big floor model television in our living room died.
Oh.
And so then my TV ended up sitting on top of that TV
Oh.
for like 6 months until my father could afford a new television.
Oh.
And then
That's
I got it back.
fantastic.
Yeah, I think I was in junior high when I got I think it was like a 13-inch TV, color TV in my room, and that was fantastic.
I love that.
And I think I
it was a
mentioned
color TV.
that I played Raiden on this TV, and of course it had Tate mode.
Oh.
Where you could, rotate the screen, and I did
Right.
such. I turned the TV on its side. It proceeded to turn purple when I did that. And
that's what happened to our floor model. We didn't turn it on its side, but because that
then
TV
I was like,
furniture. But
oh crap, this turned purple. I should turn it back. So I turned it back quickly, and it always had like a purple corner in the right
Oh wow.
lower corner of the TV. It never recovered from that one time with Raiden for the Jaguar.
Oh my God. I found my old TV.
Did you really?
I found a picture of my old TV.
Oh geez.
Oh my goodness. I wonder if I can get one.
Have to tweet it out or something.
Yeah.
All right, let's do another tweet, shall we? We will wrap up with this one from listener Nilsson, who says, I'm roughly the same age as the P1 crew and also grew up and still live in the Chicagoland area.
I bet your back is sore.
What?
I bet his back is sore.
Probably. Did you guys get to play any of the Midway arcade demo machines that they would put in local arcades in the 90s?
Oh, like early test games.
Test games, yeah.
I didn't, because I didn't live in
Location
Chicago
tests.
until the end of 1999.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
To play various Mortal Kombat sequels and updates at different arcades in the Chicagoland area. Yeah. And there was one that they always put like their main location test thing was in like downtown, right? I forget what the name of it was.
Oh, was it a downtown one?
There was a downtown one that always got the Midway ones, but then like Enchanted Castle.
Yeah, Enchanted Castle, which was pretty close
Lombard.
to the EGM office.
Yeah.
We would go to pretty frequently. There was another one that was a little ways north as well, and I forget where. I think it was north.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly. We went out there one day, a few of us from EGM, and I remember we played
Probably did.
Primal Rage 2, which was
I
never
remember.
actually released.
Oh yeah.
And I
Primal Rage
can't
2.
remember where that arcade was, but I do remember it being a fairly decent trek from the office. So it was kind of a, we're going out here to check out this game kind of thing.
Mm.
Yeah. And I have a memory of running over to Enchanted Castle because they had, was it the first or the second Street Fighter Alpha on test there?
Oh,
And I don't remember which one it was, but it was one of the alphas. Might have been the first one.
Okay.
Now that I think about it. But yes, to answer
Yeah,
the
we did.
question, yes.
Yeah, I remember going. Enchanted Castle had Mortal Kombat 4
Okay.
one time, and I remember spending quite a while
Yeah.
watching people play MK4.
Ziff Davis had a pretty decent relationship with Midway, right? Because I remember we had
Yeah.
Midway arcade machines all over the office.
Oh yeah.
We did Hydro Thunder,
And there was an NFL Blitz in that
NFL Blitz,
boardroom that I ever remember being in more than once.
and NBA Showtime.
NBA show. We had an NBA Showtime machine. Where was that?
Yeah, it was also in a conference room.
Oh, that was a conference room I was never in.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got to see a bunch of those.
Yes, indeed.
Arcade culture.
Yeah.
We got some pictures from a listener. Did you see this was it on Discord or Twitter of the Galaxy World
Yes.
arcade that was in my hometown growing up, and I think Phil, you went there a bunch too.
I would, my friend Jim and I would go up to Galaxy World pretty regularly and just spend hours there.
Yeah.
This was a bowling alley with a huge arcade attached to it.
Yeah. This is where I took bowling for gym class.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We would
hop
on the bus and drive to Galaxy World and bowl for an hour.
Nice.
In the middle of the day, middle of the school day. It was fantastic. I don't know if they do that anymore. Probably not. But we'd walk in and be met by the Daytona USA machine.
Yeah.
And always see the attract mode.
I don't know if this is going to focus.
Probably
no,
not.
it's not.
Is it a Galaxy World token?
It is a Galaxy World token.
Nice.
Remember, it had those the slots carved into the back of it.
Of course.
Yes, this particular one is not in very good shape. I have one that is in better shape, and it's actually in one of those little like cardboard coin protectors.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I keep an old Galaxy World token.
Apparently,
right here.
Not so much an arcade anymore.
No. Yeah.
Which is
Didn't it turn into like a one of those like family fun center type things?
Yeah.
Yeah,
of course. As they all
back
do.
in the day, it was a very legit arcade.
Super legit.
Oh my gosh, I loved freaking Galaxy World.
Hell yeah.
So great.
All right, I think that's a show.
Was that our show?
I think that
feels like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on various social network sites like Threads or X. And if you want to just use the old traditional method of getting a hold of us, you can go to our website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information, but you'll also find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Stewart there, and Generation 16 episodes as they happen. And we post show notes and links to all the things that we talked about on each episode there. So if you're wanting to hear more or about a particular game, or wondering what was the name of that game you talked about on that one episode, you can find it in the show notes. And there's also a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
My first TV was a Gold Star CMT4442. And I'm looking at a picture of it right now.
Amazing.
And I'm filled with happiness.
Nostalgia.
I did look on eBay and no one was selling one on eBay. But I may have to put in a search alert for this.
I see.
To buy an old tiny CRT television. If you would like to subscribe to the Player One podcast, you can do so by visiting playeronepodcast.com, or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on Spotify. Yeah. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 podcast, or you can watch us live most weeks on, the Facebooks, the YouTubes, the Twitch.televisions. Follow one of our many social media accounts to find out when we are doing our next live show. Typically, it is Sunday evenings at 5:30 Pacific time. Join us, won't you? And I'll tell you what, if you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. Old CRT TVs are not necessarily cheap these days. And I have suddenly found myself in the market for an old Gold Star TV. So if we can sneak that past CJ's watchful eye, we might be able to get me one of these old TVs. That's not true.
Oh,
CJ would not allow it. Only he gets to misappropriate our funds. And he does that by keeping our streaming going every week, and by the hosting fees or whatever it is.
The older we get, the more difficult it is to keep the streaming going. So
that's true.
CJ is doing good work.
Except at night. I seem to have no problems with that. Once I've curled up in bed for the evening.
Once you're comfortable.
Yeah. Well, you start to relax and let loose. Ride them rapids. We are talking about all three of us pissing our beds, right?
That's not at all what I was talking about.
Oh my goodness, I've embarrassed myself. No. We use our podcast Patreon funds for legit things. And I'll tell you what, we don't just take, we give back, my friends. If you are a Patreon supporter of the $5 tier,
cheap,
right? You gain access to a special weekly bonus episode. We record it right after this, where we play games, crack wise, have fun doing all the stuff we can't do on the regular show.
Yeah.
CJ.
Yeah.
I got a question to ask you.
Sure. Yeah, anything.
And the question is this.
Mm-hmm. Shoot. I'm ready. Come on, hit me.
Do we have a game this week?
Phil, I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh my God. Okay, hold on.
This time.
Okay.
I know it's been how many years since we started this show?
Far too many.
I don't even want to think about it. But this week, for the first time,
oh no,
we continue to have a game. Yes.
What kind of a god would allow?
Wow, real tears.
Wait, you said yes?
I said yes.
Oh,
yeah.
No, that's good.
We have a game.
That's great.
Phil was rubbing Tabasco in his eyes when he had his hands up near his face.
That's really good. No, Greg, I'm just that good of an actor, okay? Don't question the method.
I don't think any of us believe that, least of all you.
Don't question my techniques.
We do have a game, but I got to say it seemed quite involved, and so I just forwarded it to Greg because it's mainly revolving around Greg. And so I was like, I'm not even going to read the rest of this. I'm just going to.
There it is. There's Greg's
I'm
big
just
cartoon eyes. Does it do that for me?
No.
No?
No, it doesn't.
I guess Greg has a stronger prescription than I do.
Probably.
I suppose so. But yeah, this is the game. It seems very, in a lot of ways, scripted. Really scripted. Actually scripted.
It's very
so. We'll have to see.
Did I have
how this
lines
thing
I was
goes.
supposed to memorize for this quiz?
No.
Possibly.
For this game?
No.
Oh my goodness.
We're gonna do it, and maybe it'll be fun. But it'll probably be fun.
Well,
so I'm hoping.
Tune in,
crossed.
Patreon folks. If you're not a Patreon folk, maybe see what this is all about. I don't know.
No, I think it'll be fun. I think
I'm not going to tell you people what to do with your money.
I haven't actually read the quiz, but
No, because he wasn't allowed.
I wasn't supposed to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
well, we'll see what this is all about.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, if you have a couple bucks left over, why don't you go to patreon.com/Greg Seward, where you can help support Greg's outstanding and make no mistake, it is outstanding.
Yeah.
Web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Phil. And if you're a supporter of the $5 variety,
that is also very, very cheap, Greg.
good evening, Satan.
How are you today?
Doing all right. I'm trying to get ready for my my big scene hosting the after show tonight.
Oh, this is going to be exciting. This is a big moment for you.
There's a lot of lines.
Oh, no, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Do you think you're up
There's
for it?
there's even stage direction.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tune
Maybe
in.
like a costume change halfway through. Or
Well, I
anything?
didn't have the costume, unfortunately, but I wish I
Okay.
did. Anyway, you get access to the Weekly Commute, which is a weekly vlog series that I do talking about the different projects I'm working on and give you updates and different insights and different thoughts into just about everything. What I think about Phil and CJ.
Mm-hmm.
Hint, it ain't all rosy,
Oh, yeah.
but mostly it is. Anyway, yes, any money that you send to support the show goes back into the show. So I really, really appreciate it because it's not cheap to pay for all these subscriptions.
Cheap?
Thank you.
Was that,
Yeah, that's good.
did I miss my cue?
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You were great.
Okay, good. Whew.
That's all I got.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, okay. Well, then, was it CJ?
Yeah.
CJ,
That's me. Hello.
thank you.
Well, thank you, Phil.
Absolutely. It's my sincerest pleasure. Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip.
Of course. And of course, a big old thank you to you, our wonderful, wonderful listeners, every single darned one of you. As always, remember, please take care of yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends. Do what you got to do. Be safe. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself, man. You know?
Yeah.
And we hope to see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.